Alrighty, I am going to show a little bit page. Hold on 1 second here. You got an echo. There we go. That should clean it up. All right, how do I sound? No echo now?
Yep, sounds great.
Perfect, perfect. So let's see, it's 5:21. So 30 minutes would be 5:51. Give me that. All right, I'll give it to you when I'm done. All right, Meryl, do you want to start or you want me to start this week?
I want you to start.
All right. All righty, I am going to go ahead and do our countdown.
I am ready.
All righty, here we go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Thirsty Topics. I'm Lawrence Elrod.
And I'm Meryl Climo.
Hey, Meryl, how are you doing today?
I'm really good. Every week I always struggle with also not saying that I'm Lawrence Elrod too. I have to remember, no, I am a separate person. But I'm really good. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I got my new laptop now. I feel like a little kid in the candy store.
Yay, that's so exciting. Congratulations.
Why, thank you, thank you. It took forever for me to get it, but I got it.
Yep, it's perfect timing. And you look crystal clear, so it looks
Well,
perfect.
thank you, thank you.
I wish you could see my setup. My computer has sand in it, and it's like balancing on a book about making smoothies. I'm glad one of us has a professional setup.
Whatever works, right?
Exactly.
Well, we have a very interesting show today. So, starting off, and this is going to be an amazing thing that we're talking about here, but everyone has had, issues one or another with their parents growing up. It's just a fact of life. Well, the thing that's going viral right now is a mom has asked her daughter for $50, from $50 to $100 to help with the bills in the house. The mother's not working, and obviously there's a lot of bills. From what I hear in this story, the daughter makes around $1,000 a month. Okay, so basically the big question is who was wrong? Mother and daughter get into a heated discussion over bills after daughter refuses to contribute $50 to $100 weekly to the household. You can get mad because I'm telling you to buy your own food. You're an adult, is what the mother said to the daughter. Now, this raises an interesting question. Now, keep in mind, her daughter is an adult. Okay.
Yeah.
I would have to guess she's probably in her early 20s, I would think, early to mid 20s, somewhere around the neighborhood. So, what do you think about that conversation, Mel? Do you think that the mother is wrong to ask the daughter to kind of help contribute to the household?
No, 100%. I think the daughter should absolutely. I think 50 to 100 to me is completely reasonable. Unless the kid I know a lot of children these days or younger adults have school and then they also have extracurricular activities and there's just truly no time in the day where we don't expect kids to be working at a fast food place until like 11 p.m. and then go to school and then do athletics and all that stuff. So if like I would say unless there's a reason not to, yes, I think that she should contribute. But I mean, if she's like going to school, working, doing, or not working, but like having other extracurricular things, then no, I don't think she should.
No, I mean that makes sense. The interesting thing about this is that the mom is struggling to pay bills. The daughter pays no bills whatsoever in the household. Okay, none. So, the daughter, probably spends money on herself. She goes out, stuff like that. And, I mean, when you think about it like this, $200 to $400 a month, and you bring home $1,000 a month. That's not unreasonable. That really isn't
No,
unreasonable,
not at all.
especially if the mom is struggling. Now, if it's a situation where the mom is not struggling, again, that's really up to them. But if she's struggling, I don't think that should be an issue. I really don't.
Yeah, and I think it teaches kids like the first rules of responsibility and like paying, say if it's like chipping in for an electric bill or chipping in for the internet or like resources that you're using, especially if she is 18, like obviously this doesn't hold true for like 11 or 12-year-olds or anything, but I think to me, like once you're 17 and older, you should have like a little portion of what you're taking up resource wise, you can pay for it.
Oh, yeah, and the one thing that the daughter has to understand, the mother has a trump card in her back pocket. She could say, "Well, I'm paying for food, I'm paying for this and that. If you don't want to contribute, then just go move out, get your own place then."
Yeah. But I would think like also to me as a teenager, it was fun to earn money and like the mom's also saying, okay, if you earn $1,000, the rest of it you can buy jeans, you can go to the movies, do whatever you want. But asking 50 to 100 of that is like not a huge ask. I think some parents are very strict in the way that they've even had told their kids like I'm going to take half of what you make, or like all of your money goes to contribute to your brothers and sisters as well.
Yeah, I mean, like my son, he's out, he's an adult. If my son wants to come home, I mean, obviously we're blessed to where I don't have to charge him rent, but I better see money going into your account every single month if you're not paying no
Yeah,
bills. Which,
exactly.
again, I think that's reasonable, you know.
Yep. I think my parents' deal was like, yeah, I had to work, but then obviously they weren't buying me concert tickets or anything else that I wanted. All the Zimas that I was drinking illegally at age 19, I had to by myself. But I think especially if parents are struggling, I mean, also that does, I wonder if that does create a sort of like financial trauma on a child, though, if they do see like their parents saying, I can't make it, like when they're 18, I need you to make it, that's just, or to help. I don't know. I'm sure everyone has a different opinion of that, and it's definitely a gradient. But I do also think that it is a lot to put on your teenager to kind of just say, like, I'm not able to sustain myself as an adult.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that's in that predicament, and again, even at $50 a week, that's $200 a month. That's not a lot of money. That really isn't.
No, especially if that covers like one or two bills, and if that really is the difference of someone being able to make ends meet, that's cool. I just would also, now I'm playing my own devil's advocate, where like I don't know, in theory, you shouldn't be like, I guess it depends on the manner in which you explain it to your child. Like I think if it comes with some trauma and that like affects them financially for the rest of their life, like in terms of thinking about money or feeling scarce or anything, then I think that's like a big deal. But if it's not, and you're just kind of saying like, hey, our household needs $100 more, then I think that's normal.
Oh yeah, and again, the mother could demand a certain amount, but she's like, "Hey, 50 to $100 a week. That's all I'm asking."
Oh yeah.
So even if you want to give her a minimum of 50 a week, that's still contributing. But
Yes.
but again, if the mother is paying for everything in the household, paying for your food and all this and all that, electric, phone, and all this, you should contribute something. You really
Yeah.
should.
I love to, like, I don't have children, but I love hearing about families too that are like, even if younger kids, if they want something specific, I love the thought of families like teaching kids. Okay, well, that teddy bear is like $60, so we're going to work on your allowance, and we're going to show you transparently like how much money you have, and then however you want to spend your money, and once you spend that $60, it's gone. So maybe you want that bear or not. Like, I just love hearing stories like that. So that could be a good lesson where it's like 50 goes to the household, and then you could have 100 for clothes and 200 for going out to eat with your friends, you know.
That's true. That's true. Those are good points. Hopefully she's watching and learned something, right?
Yeah. If you're watching lovingly, don't ask me for money. So okay. I'm gonna ask my parents for $50, and I'm in my 40s. But yeah. Uh, well, maybe we'll see if what happens, if that's going to start a new trend of like teenagers pitching in more than ever. I would love to hear too from people watching, like if you're a teenager or whatever, is that standard? Are kids paying, like if they're home and 18, are you paying for rent? Are you paying for utilities, or is it just kind of like a good free ride?
I agree. You know what? It would be nice to see, especially people watching us on social media. Let us know. We would kind of want to know your opinion about this.
Yeah, no judgment either way.
There you go.
Well, by the time we listen to this, Halloween may have been over, but I thought that this was really interesting where, this comes up every year just about drug laced candy and people putting razor blades in apples, and like some of the urban myths that we've heard, but some of the ones that are really true. And this year, law enforcement issued a public warning after police said that they confiscated drug laced candy and snacks during a search warrant at a Michigan home. So all the scary things that we've heard, this one is actually true. From Airheads and Jolly Ranchers to Doritos and Flamin' Hot Fries, officers reported that their agency discovered counterfeit candy and snacks containing THC and mushrooms at a suburban Detroit home. And obviously, they confiscated it, and they did make an arrest, and they're still going through some of the process. But I mean, that's just so scary. Like, luckily these things would just, I don't think they would cause death in someone. It's not like they don't have fentanyl or them or anything, but they would make someone very, very sick and hallucinogenic.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's sad that we even have to talk about this, to be honest with you. You know, it's
Yeah.
almost it's almost to the point where, you kind of want to maybe let them go trick or treating for the experience, tell them to throw away everything and just have a bunch of candy in the house for them.
Yeah. And looking at the photos too, like when they shared the images in this article, and it looks like it's like a sealed package, and they were saying in the article, don't worry, it's not like the ones on the store are laced with it. But I don't know how people are like making these packages, and then I don't know if they're opening them and like know how to seal them back up, but like it looks like a legit Jolly Rancher bag, so like anyone could be fooled.
I saw those. And what's scary about that too, Merrill, is that unless you really check it out, you'll glance by it and won't even give it a second thought.
Yeah.
And I just think it's sad that now besides the miscellaneous stuff, the holes and everything, now you got to see, okay, any packages that you get, is it real or was it resealed?
I
You know,
know.
it's like you're kind of doing detective work now.
Exactly. I'm usually very paranoid, but my paranoia drops when it's the Reese's peanut butter cups. Then I become a lot more. Then I'm like, you know what? A little hallucinogenic mushroom won't hurt me. Maybe it'll be good.
Yeah, that's true. I just tell people that anyone watching this, definitely make sure that you're careful. Please make sure that if you got kids trick or treating, um, one, make sure you're aware of where they go trick or treating at, and then
Yeah.
also inspect that candy. And you know what? Even for your teenagers, I think they know everything. Sit down with them too, because they're not going to inspect it like you would. It's
Right.
better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah. There was even an advisory around here that I've heard of people stealing phones, like as if it's not enough with them. We have to worry about drug laced candy. A lot of like pickpockets and phones going missing, because a lot of these houses get so popular that there's like hundreds of people outside, and everyone's really close and distracted, and then people will go in and steal the phones off of people and they won't even notice, and it's dark outside, people are wearing costumes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good point too, because you really don't know who's coming to your house too.
Yep. So keep your head on a swivel, as they say.
Yes, yes. And for all the older teenagers, stop coming to the house at night too.
They come, I know when it's like 11:45. I'm like, this is too late. What are you doing, you weirdos? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like trick or treating ended like hours ago.
I know. I feel like 10 should be the cutoff. Even when I was younger, I felt this way. So it's not an old person thing, but I feel like 10 to 10:30 is the like wrap it up section of the night.
Oh yeah, and a lot of towns like my town, they do have a cutoff period for trick or treating too. So
Yeah. I feel like prime time is like 8 to 8:45. That's when the good candy is happening.
Mhm.
The full size bars.
That is so true. Well, this is very interesting. Now, obviously, everyone's on edge because of what's going on with the government shutdown, and also with the unfortunate issue with the SNAP program running out of money as of Saturday,
Yeah.
November 1st. So there's this new viral thing going on right now, and it's basically saying that we should cancel holiday spending since they don't want to give us money for food. We
Hmm.
don't need to buy anything for Christmas or Thanksgiving. You know, um, what's interesting is it's a viral video calling to cancel holiday spending is gaining traction, particularly on social media platforms like Instagram. They call for a holiday spending boycott as a response to recent government decisions, specifically cuts to supplemental nutrition assistance, which is the SNAP program, as well as ongoing issues like corporate greed and high inflation. So, the thing that they're looking at targeting corporate profits. So the boycotts target major retailers and holiday shopping season, which is the key period for corporate profits. The goal is to make a symbolic statement to businesses and politicians that people and not profits drive the economy. What do you think about that, Merle?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to adhere to it because there's like this body lotion that I'm really looking at that I don't think I'll be able. I stand in solidarity with everyone except when it comes to buying the exact vanilla body wash that I really want this season. Um, I don't know. Like I agree with everyone that we should be a little bit more mindful of what we're spending and not just be so wasteful and like have to buy the latest TV or if like you have something you don't need 10 versions of it. So maybe just like not even the holidays, but just in general, think about purchasing less if you can. But I don't know if it's, I mean, I don't know. We did it with the Disney thing when people canceled Disney and it really did show, it did make an impact. So maybe this would, but I don't know how many people you're going to get to do that. And I also just think too, life is so hard that like a little gift on the holidays can sometimes make people feel happy that I think like canceling that too, I can see people feeling like, can't we have anything fun here? But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really a huge spender to begin with in terms of the holidays, but I think it's good to like pare down, but maybe not take it out completely.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. And I guess I could see it both ways because sometimes people do go overboard for the holidays and spend money they don't have. And the other thing too is, people are going to make some hard decisions because the food banks, um, the government programs that are local to churches that kind of fill in the gap for food won't be able to cover the SNAP participants because
Right.
I want to say there's about 42 million people on there. So literally the banks and everything, food banks, they physically cannot take care of that void. So there's going to be people that have to make some really hard decisions come the holiday season. And it's a shame that we're even talking about this, to be honest with you.
I know. I think if it's the kind of thing I wish that we just were more of a society where it's like, okay, maybe we donate, maybe we get gifts for our family, and then we also spend like $100 if you can to like buy food for people that can't, or like to help those organizations in general, and to just give more, but like give to people that need it. Um, but yeah, I think it's definitely terrible. I've heard some people say like really mean things about the SNAP program, and like yeah, I've heard not good things of like almost in support of not of canceling it and everything, which is not very nice.
Yeah, see, it's kind of easy to say that for people when, you're making the money, you can take care of your family. Most people can't even afford to make ends meet.
I
And
know.
and the reality is that it's very, very expensive to even if you're single these days, with the rising prices, the tariffs, the high cost of food, it's very expensive. And then multiply that times XYZ when you have a family and it's not just you that you
Yeah.
have to feed.
I know. I had a show that I was listening to, and they were talking about like the average weight of someone on Snap, and it was like a lot higher than the regular person, and basically alluding to the fact that these people are like greedy and lazy and what they're going to buy. You know, and of course, in every situation, there's examples, but I feel like for the most part, it's just people that do work hard and unfortunately, like, can't make it meet. They're not completely taking advantage of the system, and like, you know, some people are, but most people aren't, I think.
Oh, exactly, exactly. And the other thing to keep in mind too is that, you know, when they did the boycott, I don't know if you remember this or not, but when they did the boycott for Target and Walmart and I think one or two more stores, people laughed, oh, it's not a big deal. Well, those stores took a heavy hit because of those
Yeah.
boycotts. And the one thing that we've learned, unfortunately, because of corporate greed in this country, even though marches and protests, all those things are very important. But if you want to get corporate attention, hit them in the pockets.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see if this gains traction. But I mean, right now it's viral right now on all social media. So we'll find out very soon.
I know. And also I feel like they just to cut off everything so like rapidly for people too. If anything, I feel like it should have been like, okay, for the next year you're gonna get like a fixed amount and then people will learn how to live on that and like or just learn how to do it. But I feel like from going from like 100 to zero in one day is really like that's very shocking for some people or for most people.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I know. And I've even seen people being like, how much is it to actually just make beans and potatoes? But I'm like, not everyone has that can eat that way. And like, it's not just everyone buying junk food on there too. It's like protein's really expensive, you know,
Yep, exactly.
not everyone has the time to every day, like cook everything from scratch.
Yeah. And let's face it, you have to have a balanced meal, so you can't eat the same thing every night either.
I know. Otherwise, I would be having Kraft mac and cheese every night. Or ramen. Actually, it's so funny. My taste is like, if it's like 25 cents, then I crave it. Well, this is the complete opposite of the SNAP program. This is like the Beyonce lemonade. This I've heard of what I'm going to talk about as the Beyonce's lemonade for white women. But this is really funny. The, Lily Allen, the singer, who I've loved for a long time, even though she's kind of a horrible person. She hints at cheating in her new album, The West End Girl, and her ex-husband is Stranger Things David Harbour. Now I don't know if this is like part of your world or not, but in my stupid Meryl world, like this was a huge deal. So basically, Lily and David were married for a long time and then they got divorced. And then now she came out with this like scathing album that really drops all the tea. And it's like we're left with no details untalked about. And pretty much they had an open marriage. And they had some like deals that you could sleep with other people if like you paid for it or they were strangers. And then we learned in the album like it sounded like he went beyond that and ended up with some people that like he kind of knew and that he may have taken them back to the house and like just broken some rules overall. And so I think it's like a very beautiful album because it just talks about it from like the beginning of when they talk about having an open marriage to like the very end to when they're divorced and she's trying to date again. And like it's getting really, really good critical reviews. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like this one is up for a Grammy, like for sure, just because it's a really great album. Or I think it is. But I just think like in a world where we kind of want to know details, Lily just gave us every single detail.
Well, you know what? I give her credit. I mean, she's basically taking the lead on her own story. Um,
Yeah. And she even
and
talks about that in one of the lyrics. It's kind of like he wanted her to kind of lie and like hide things on their behalf. And then she just said, if I tell the truth, then no one can hurt me or do things for me, to me.
you know what? That's true. I mean, whether you're a musician or politician, whatever, if you put it out there first, it can never be thrown back in your face.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think sometimes people share a little bit too much about their personal life.
I know. and this is like total, but I feel like we're all like friends and family here too. But I feel like I loved Lily Allen and like in the early 2000s, and I thought she was so cute and such a good role model, and or like not a good role model, but like because she was always drunk and on drugs. But I thought she was so cute, and I feel like she kind of lost me over the last couple of years just because I feel like she's really not relatable. But I feel like this album made me like come back, and I kind of have like a someone that you like used to really love, and now it's back for me. So
Hmm. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. Like I said, I think the album's going to do very well, and I think that by her taking lead on her previous life or previous experiences,
yeah,
um, again, she takes away the gas out of the tabloid situation because she's putting it out there herself, and
exactly.
she owns her story. So she's telling her story her way, and whether you like it or don't like it, at least that's one less thing she has to worry about. Having to make up some kind of PR statement or anything for. It's just it's out there. Here it is. Take it or leave it.
Yeah. And I think too, to me, it was kind of smart slash diabolical of her to do this to David Harbour before the new Stranger Things comes out, because like they're about to embark on a press tour for it, and that's what everyone wants to hear about. And like this was someone like I thought he was so sweet and cuddly and everything, and of course, just like the more we learn about Hollywood, the more we just learn that every marriage seems like it's not what it seems, and some of these people are like really warped, and so it's good to a good reminder not to like that people aren't perfect, and who we think has like a cute marriage, there's often things underneath that we don't even know about.
That is so true. That is so so true. Well, Meryl talked about warped and crazy. Um, this is actually a trend that I don't think should be one, but people are purchasing spider monkeys as pets.
Ew.
Now, for people that are not aware, spider monkeys are kind of like slender type monkeys. They have very long arms and legs, big midsection. They're cute and cuddly when they're small, and they actually can live to be 40 to 50 years old.
What, really?
Yeah,
That'd be so awkward to like now you're 60 and like you have a 40-year-old spider monkey. Like I feel like that's awkward.
yeah. What's interesting is purchasing spider monkeys as pets is a dangerous and unethical trend fueled by illegal wildlife trafficking through social media. Wildlife experts and animal welfare organizations warn that these wild animals do not make suitable pets, and their capture often involves extreme cruelty. Kind of give you an idea here. Uh, and this is actually an investigation that was done by CBS and Inside Edition. And basically, mothers are killed for their babies. So poachers are killing these mothers to get these spider monkeys and sell them on the black market. So to capture an infant spider monkey, poachers in southern Mexico frequently shoot the mother. Babies are traumatized. The baby monkeys are ripped from their dying mothers' backs and then sedated, bound, and stuffed into bags for smuggling. Traffic is surging at the U.S. border. The Texas Mexico border is a major corridor for this illegal trade. Animals are often um, intercepted by customs and border protection, but many are successfully smuggled in and sold illegally in parking lots and throughout social media. The craziest thing about this story, Meryl, is that these people actually advertise these monkeys on social media. So even though it's illegal, they literally advertise it on social
Really?
media. So Inside Edition did like an undercover sting where they're pretending to buy these spider monkey babies. So they showed them the spider monkey baby. They want to charge them 6,500, and of course they didn't pay for it. They're like, "Oh, by the way, we're not going to buy this, but we're with Inside Edition. We want to know." And then of course they want to hurry up and jump in their cars and drive away. And
Yeah.
they've done this with like two or three different sellers. So it's a lot of people selling these, which is crazy.
And I think, and like, did they then like I wonder how they get to the part where like I wonder if it's all cash or if like you have to kind of it's like an underhand deal. You don't really like transfer papers. It's not like when you if you buy a puppy,
It's
they like
cash. They don't. They take just cash. That's it.
Yeah, I guess they're not Venmoing like for the spider monkey. you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's so sad and gross and weird. Like, I think that's terrible.
It is. And the interesting thing is that, you can't keep a spider monkey hidden forever.
Right.
So what do you do if he or she becomes sick and,
Yeah.
you want to take it to a vet and the vet goes, "Hey, what are you doing with this wild animal?" You know?
Yeah. There's some like black market spider monkey vet and everything. And I think a lot of times people get these types of pets, whether it's like a snake or a exotic reptile and the spider monkey, and they think it's going to be like a cute, funny, kind of quirky animal for a while. And then, like you said, they could grow to be 40 years old, or they need like more exercise or jumping around than you think is possible, or it just doesn't fit your lifestyle. And then they have nowhere to go, or a lot of times they're put down needlessly. And I think it's just so weird.
Oh yeah, and actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Here are some of the consequences of owning spider monkeys. They are dangerous as adults. While cute as babies, spider monkeys mature into aggressive, mean, and potentially sexually aggressive animals.
Oh my God.
Okay, don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Uh, their bites and scratches can infect serious injuries. They carry diseases. Primates can transmit zoonotic diseases to humans, including parasites and viruses like herpes and measles.
Ooh.
Their needs are not met in captivity. These highly social animals live in large groups in the wild and require vast, complex forest habits. Um, it is impossible for a home environment to meet their physical, social, and psychological needs.
Yeah, so they're not really suitable for the average person to own. I'm sure someone somewhere will have a spider monkey and like treat it well, of course. The times that I've seen them has really freaked me out because people will dress them like little babies and like, like put them in diapers and dolls. And I'm like, this is not an infant, like a real baby. This is really grossing me out.
Yeah, I know why they're mean because they're probably putting on those doggone diapers and clothes. Like, I'm not a human. Why are you doing this to me?
I know. I know. Like, there's one that I could think. I know a creator that like she puts it in a polo shirt. I don't even think they're cute. Like as babies, like the cute baby. I don't know. It just doesn't do anything for me. But I just think people to like go admire them. Where they live, but I don't take them home to your actual house and like your apartment complex.
No, no, no. But I just don't understand. What's wrong with having a simple dog, cat, the average everyday pet? Why do you need this exotic animal?
I
You know?
know, I know. Or even like there are ones like the chinchilla, I think is a cute one that kind of buries. And like I feel like there's ones that are both domesticated and that we've had for a while, and but it's also not the typical one. Growing up, I had hermit crabs, but then when they would, I'd be so upset when they would die because I'd just like pick up the shell and they would just fall out.
Mm.
It's gross, but yeah, I don't know. Say no to spider monkeys. Maybe if people are canceling their holidays this year, the first thing to do is to cancel the spider monkey order.
I hope so. And it's like, wow, people can spend money on the craziest things these days.
I know. But I also love that Inside a Ditch and is doing like a sting operation of spider monkeys.
Yeah, but it's kind of scary how easy you can buy one though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean here too, like I see signs for exotic reptile expos and stuff, and I feel like a lot of those reptiles are pythons that are they're like flown illegally, like they smuggle in a lot of exotic snakes that should not be allowed, and they're bred poorly, and it's just no bueno.
I agree. I agree. So let's just hope this trend ends pretty soon.
Yeah, the spider monkey is only going to get more and more. It's a recession indicator. It's a,
Mhm.
they freak me out. Do you think they're cute?
You know what? It does look cute as a baby, but
So
not cute enough that I want one as a pet.
yeah, maybe that's like as a non-mother person. Maybe that's like something else that looks like a baby infant also doesn't do it for me. I'm like, nope, just across the board. Like I don't love the infant look. No, if it was like a baby lion cub, that's where I get like when people have the tigers and stuff. I would never want that, and I think that's bad. But when I see someone like nuzzling a baby tiger, I'm like, let me at it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, the part that really surprised me is the potentially sexually aggressive animals.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'd love to know, and I know this sounds kind of crazy. I'd love to know what the hell that means.
Me too. I don't know if it's towards each other or other people or just that's crazy.
Right, I mean, you got this little spider monkey, and the spider monkey looks at you a certain way. I mean, I don't know.
That thing would be getting returned in 2 seconds. I'd be putting its diaper back on and be wearing a chastity belt. Well, my last one is interesting and something that a lot of us are talking about. I'm going to assume that people know at this point that there's a ballroom project going on in the White House. Trump is, um, according to some people, demolishing like the east wing of the White House. None of us really quite know exactly what it's going to look like, but we know there's probably going to be a lot of gold and a lot of opulence and everything. There was just a recent poll. Oh, and also it's going to cost $300 million. I forgot to say that. There was a recent poll asking just citizens like what they thought of it, and 56% of respondents said they are somewhat or strongly against the project. 28% of people in the poll said that they're somewhat or strongly into the project. They back it, and that major companies, including Amazon, Apple, and Google, are those donating to help cover the cost. So, Trump is saying like, yes, it's 200 million, but that's not going to be coming out of your taxes. Private companies are going to be paying for this, but a lot of people like just feel okay. Well, the demolition of the East Wing, like that's very destructive, and there's a lot of history there, and this is something that you can't really change. You can't go like, whoopsies, now let's bring it back to how it was before. So of course, like the more liberal leaning podcasts and everything that I listen to, of course they're going to like really frame it strongly as that this is the worst thing ever. The other side will frame it as this is the best thing ever. So I think once again it's maybe somewhere in the middle, but also we've seen how some of Trump's like projects have gone before, and maybe like it doesn't have the best track record.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, the interesting thing about this, Merle, is that yes, it is true. It's not being used by taxpayers' money. That is true. But on the other hand, too, with everything that's going on with the government shutdown, people having to go to work and not be paid, and then now people are going to go hungry because the SNAP program is not going to be funded. It's really not good optics. It really
Yeah.
isn't good right now. And once it's completed, based on um, the pictures that the White House has put out as far as what it's supposed to look like, it's actually going to dwarf the actual White House itself. So it's going to be kind of weird looking when you think about it.
I know. And like, I don't know. I just feel like I hope that there's still a respecting of the history of all the people. Like, I know that's what they were saying. Like, a lot of the first ladies were in that wing too. And I hope there's like a reverence and a respect for both, whatever party it was, like a Republican or a Democrat in the office before, that there's some type of like nod to history rather than just making it like the Trump show.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be the Trump show.
I do too. And this means, we all know, dude, this means like he's settling in. This is like definitely thinking long term about like, I'm moving in. What we have to do? We have to bring the spider monkeys into the White House, the sexually aggressive spider monkeys, and just see what happens. Yeah. I just want to see like 38 like extremely sexually aggressive ones like going around the ballroom.
That would be one hell of a show.
Exactly. Someone needs to, I mean, no, I'm not saying someone needs to do that. I'm just saying it would be entertaining.
Oh yes, definitely. But yeah, they're at the point of no return now because, like you say, they ripped down the East Wing, so that's gone. So there's no turning back at this point. So,
like, I bet it's going to be beautiful. Like, there's no doubt about it. I feel, I don't know, it will probably be very nice looking, but also none of us get to enjoy this. And like, yeah, it's just kind of like a weird project.
it is. It's a very weird project, and again, is this something that's needed? No, but again, he's the president right now. That's who was voted in office, and those are the things that come with that.
This is our life. This is our reality.
That is so, so true. Well, talk about life and reality. Merrill, what do you have coming?
Yay. Well, the show I'm promoting a lot right now is November. You can tell how good of the job I'm doing it. It's November 12th, Wednesday at the La Jolla Comedy Store. And I'm hosting it and on it. And then the headliner is Tom Arnold.
Nice, nice. So definitely put that on your calendar. If you're going to be in the area, make sure you come out and support Meryl.
Yes,
Um,
and it's a San Diego, and I have a discount for tickets to get people if you use my name. So make sure
oh,
you
really?
hit.
Now, is there something they have to log into, or they just say your name
Just
at the door?
yeah, they just when they buy tickets, they just use my first name, Meryl, as the promo code, and then they get money off the ticket.
Very nice, very nice.
Or like in the San Diego area, like it's really really fun too. Like, it's a great show. So I'm the host. I would for real love to meet people and say hi.
Oh, that's cool. Definitely, definitely. Make sure you guys come out and support her. And also, thank you again for supporting us.
Yes.
We always have such a great time. We have, actually, we have so much stuff that we could have talked about if we had time. Again, it's one of those situations where we never run out of things to talk about from show to show.
I know some weeks it's like, oh my gosh, can you just calm down with all the juicy stuff?
That is so, so true. But as always, I had a great time. Definitely let us know what you guys think about some of the topics we talked about too on our social media platforms. So
Yeah.
I'm Lawrence Elrod.
And I'm Meryl Climo.
Take care, everyone. Okay.
Bye.
All righty. That was an excellent, excellent show.
Yeah.
Live stream.